gonna love this.
I want to hear it. I'm objective. You're critical.
Anico at the disco.
He's positive. Join the Mixtape 615.
Today, tomorrow, yesterday,
It is the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville.
forever. Testing. 1, 2, 3. This is a Mixtape 615 podcast, baby, and this is the place to be. If you're a Nashville Soccer Club fan, or you're just trying to see what's going on with them boys in gold, then I invite you to lock in with us real quick. It's your boy. Check it out. The infamous Tunji, a.k.a. Young Turtle, the Soccer Face, SF doing the big kahuna, munching on a little tuna sandwich, the DR Kid, affectionately known as Steam Papi, Yamame, por favor. Catch me on Wednesdays at Southside Kitchen and Pub because it's half off whiskey night, and I just got a paycheck. Bruh, I be sipping on Mai Tais on beaches in Belize, feeling cool like a summer breeze. I'm the dude walking down Broadway with the cleanest pair of Jordan 1s that you ever did see, and the golden boy with the golden voice, also known as Chicago Mike, the Glizzy Gladiator. And this is a Mixtape 615 podcast. We're bringing it to you once again. Austin, can you tell them who he is, who you are?
I can tell him. You got through yours pretty quick. I'm proud of you, Tunji. You did good on that.
I've been working on it.
You got that flow going, man. It was pretty nice. All right. Well, I am Austin, aka Wildman, aka Ginger Snap, aka the Fumbling Dublin, aka Chicky Parm, aka Red Beard. All right. I don't have as nice of a flow as you, but Logan, we'll see how you got. Tell them who you are.
All right. This is Logan, aka Beer Main, aka Mr. C, aka Mr. Roboto, aka allegedly, if you know, you know. Absolutely, aka Coach Carson. It is Logan, and this is the Mixtape 615 supporter groups podcast, the dopest supporter group in all of Nashville, in all of soccer, in all of the world. We are amazing, and we want you in the mix with us. Go to mixtape615.com. That is mixtape615.com, and we want you to join in with us if you want to run this pitch with us. And there is a lot to get to today from all over the world. We got babies drinking Truly. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. The women's match versus Colombia, to all the way in RSL playing in the snow, pulling out the orange ball. It is crazy.
A disgrace
how much
to the game
has happened in soccer this last week. But we want to bring it all the way back to Nashville because we have a match that we did not play in Nashville. We played actually in Denver that we need to talk about. We're going straight into a match rewind. Let's go. It was a late night for us for this year at 8:30 p.m. start in the Central Time Zone. It was at Colorado Rapids, and it ended in a 1-1 draw with a surprising 2 goals by Nashville SC. Tunji,
we got 2 goal scorers on the score sheet.
Yeah, we do. We had all goals were scored by Nashville SC. Unfortunately, one of those being an own goal. Tunji, talk to me about the game as a whole. What did you see? What did you love?
Oh man, dude. You know, I've been on Twitter a lot lately, and I've seen that people are extremely upset about this match. And a new term, I don't know who coined this term. I don't know where it came from, but I saw it. It's called Sufferball. We've graduated from Gary Ball to Sufferball. So it was, I mean, look, I saw it, I laughed, but I also, in the bottom of my heart, I was like, ooh, that one hurt. That one hit hard. We saw 2 goals, both by Nashville players, and the game ended 1-1. On the bright side, we scored 2 goals with Alhani on the pitch. You know?
I don't know how bright side that can be.
Those goals were scored by Shaq Moore. I was like, dude, get out. But I was like, yo, take him out of the game right now. I know that we needed him when we're thin on right back, but I didn't care. I was like, take him out of the goal. Look, it was an unexpected result. I don't want to focus on the negative because it wasn't a good watch. It was tough to see. But we've got to remember we don't have our guys on the pitch. It was an unexpected result. Really, we should have been handling Colorado, but I think the team did show a little bit of resilience. I think they did show a little bit of the ability to adapt. We got the absence of a key player. I mean, look at the head-to-head stats, guys. Look at the head-to-head stats. We didn't do too bad. I mean, yes, we were playing against. I'm comparing us against the head-to-head stats of Colorado Rapids, who are just not a good team.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do too bad. We just did bad. We need, I think, in general, dude, just the defensive strategy. We've got a long road ahead of us, guys, dude. It's a gauntlet coming up. Get used to seeing some ugly soccer. We're playing the best teams in the next 2 months. We're playing the best teams in MLS minus Charlotte. It's gonna be rough. I mean, I hope Gary has a plan and a strategy for these two months, because I sure as heck don't.
Well, to be fair, Charlotte is starting off their first time undefeated in the league.
Yeah, but I don't care. I'm just gonna hate on Charlotte.
I'm just saying, man,
hey, disclaimer, I'm gonna hate on them all undefeated like this.
I agree. Austin, with that header into the box, talk to me a little bit about what you saw in that, and then also, the redemption goal with Bunbury. I mean, your thoughts on that as well.
I'm going to give. I'm going to be a little gracious. I'm going to give Shaq Moore a little bit of a pass on this. It was one of those. It was one of those that he's heading to clear it. In hindsight, there were different ways to do it. He did not need to head it at all. He didn't need to head it down as it was. But he had a player on his back. He didn't know where he was. He had to get it out somewhere. He didn't want to let it drop to his feet and have it stolen. It's unlucky bounce. It happens. We've seen it plenty of times. Defense trying to clear a ball that ends up in the back of their own net. So it does happen. It's unfortunate. However, if you look at who he had around him at the time, there were 3 Nashville players in front of him and Joe Willis. He did not need to head that as hard as he did. Head it down.
Chest bumped it.
Yeah, I was about to say, bounce it off your chest to one of your teammates, and they could have cleared it. They had a much better lie. So it was unfortunate.
He lost focus, man. I think he lost focus, dude.
And you saw immediately on his face, he dropped. He put his hands to his head. He dropped his shoulders. But I did say, what I did love was McNaughton immediately going to him and basically like keep your head up. We still got a lot of time on the clock. Good veteran leadership that I saw from a young player to a vet. Shaq Moore is much more seasoned than Lucas McNaughton, and Lucas McNaughton was the one saying, keep your head up. We got more to play. So that's my take on that. My take on the game as a whole. Another tough one. Another saved by the refs. We talked about the replacement refs and the use of VAR last year or last week rather on the podcast with Shay. And we got saved by another VAR call. It was late in the match, and an unforced handball in their box by a player who just got subbed on. Luckily, it worked out in our favor. I will be honest, when I saw Teal going up to the box, I was using a little bit of emergency language. I wasn't super happy about it.
Felt like you were looking at Lane Kiffin all over again. For those of you who are Bama fans,
I didn't know why he was the one to take it, but it worked out. He did keep his composure, so I was proud of him for that. And like we said last week, Teal is going to be Teal. He didn't look good most of the match, and then he did that. He's not blue or green. He's somewhere in between. That's who he is, and it worked out for us this match. So that's my take on there.
Absolutely. Tunji, I don't know if you saw, I just want to hear if you saw this as far as a reaction. Did you see Colorado on Instagram after that first goal? They said that they should have tagged Nashville SC as a collab.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, man. I'm telling you, it even says it. It's right there. That's what their caption was. Do you think we should have thought about tagging Nashville as a collab?
They can put that tag where the sun don't shine.
Well, they can put that tag right on the hand of their defense, because that clearly is where it needed to be.
Nah, bro. But I don't understand. When you look at the stats, they have Colorado goals for at 1 and Nashville goes for at 0. How does Colorado get a goals for, and then they have their shot conversion rate at like 43%? Their shot conversion rate was 0.
Their shot conversion rate was 0. It was very lucky that we got away with a point, I believe. And, it only goes to show you what could have been, if we had just used that header in the opposite goal. And that's exactly kind of what we're going to talk about next, is just what all could have been.
Hey, Mixtape 615, are you ready for the 2024 season? We want you to join us. Join our supporters group. It is the dopest supporters group in all of Nashville. So sign up right now at mixtape615.com and rock your 2024 membership scarf so you can show off and say, we run this pitch. Imagine standing on the field, feeling the energy of the game close up, all of the energy of the stadium. That's a reality for our members. You can get on-field opportunities, plus get access to our tailgates where you'll bond with fellow fans over great food, soccer passion, and don't miss out on our epic away game watch parties. So sign up now, mixtape615.com, and join for the 2024 season.
We are 2 weeks into an MLS season. We've got 2 ugly points. We thought the first point was going to be the ugliest one. The second point is challenging that. We've got 2 CONCACAF Champions wins. A potential superstar, Forster Jago.
Yep.
We don't know.
Yep.
But we also did some things in the offseason to get to this point. We've got Tyler Boyd, Mackenzie Gaines, again, Forster Jago, two kids from UC Berkeley, who I don't know where they're at, or no one's heard. We haven't seen hide nor tail of them. Drew Yearwood, another pickup. Tyler Boyd is one of the interesting ones, I think, though. There was a lot of stuff that we had to do to get him. This guy's almost, a lot of money in GAM, $775K potentially. 2 international spots. Remember, we gave away a lot of international spots we gave away all of our international spots. We even got an extra one and gave it away. We're just giving away. We're just like, hey, international spots, I don't need this. That's free money. That's house money. Just playing with it. And now we can't play Forster Jago, who, again, potential superstar. Yeah. Austin. Ginger Snap.
Yes, sir.
Riddle me this, man.
Yes, sir.
2 games in, do you think that Tyler Boyd is worth potentially $775,000 in general allocation money and 2 international spots?
I think he's worth the 2 international spots. I think it's like 300 guaranteed over the next 2 seasons, so 150 each season of GAM. But yeah, that potential, almost 800,000. But what are we doing with our GAM? We get it and we trade it away. We don't actually do anything with it, right? We use it for trade value. That's all we do with it. And so, if it's potentially 800,000. We traded away all of our international spots to get that money. So apparently that's what it was used for. So we literally traded away 5 international spots to 3 teams to get $825,000 right before we signed Tyler Boyd. I don't know if that's what it was for, because there is the if he meets certain thresholds, certain markers, then we could potentially pay that money to LA Galaxy. I don't know if that's why we gathered all of that general allocation money, but right now I'm looking at Forster Jago, however you say his name, and watching that dude play. Yes, it was against a team that was kind of defeated already. Yes, it was against a CONCACAF team, not an MLS team from the DR. However, his positioning, his touch, and his soccer IQ, that dude is going to be good. Whether he's there now or if he's going to be, I want an international spot back so that we can see what he can do with the number 1 team against other number 1 teams.
Yeah. You mentioned his positioning, his touch, his IQ. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me, because again, he's playing against Mocha, and he scored 2 goals. The biggest thing that stood out, his ego.
Yeah. Dude was confident. He's like, this is my game.
Yeah. Like he pulls out the old Ake Loba celebration. You know what I'm saying? Like
I love that
twice, because he scored twice and he tried to get a third goal.
He's what they said. He's the bear. Is that like his new nickname?
I don't know. Whatever he can have whatever nickname he wants.
They were calling it like the bear. The bear celebration, I think, is what it was on X.
Dude, he can have whatever celebration he wants if he keeps scoring, which is why I'm excited to see him in if we play him. I hope that we do play him against Miami. I also hope that Messi, Luis Suarez, the whole Barcelona retirement club is gone, is not there when we play them. I have a lot of hopes for that game. I am just gonna leave it at that. I don't know, man. Forza Jago, like, this guy is a guy that he didn't get drafted. We got to remember that. He didn't get drafted. He's someone we picked up after the draft.
He's immediately signed after the draft.
He's immediately signed. So, but like, he entered into the draft? Do you know?
I don't know.
He didn't get picked up, but he was the ACC Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
He was an All-American.
Oh, we'll get there.
And so I don't understand how he wasn't. I think that Nashville got him on a steal, so I'm okay with it.
I think
we don't have an international spot to play him. I'm upset with, but
I think he does. He looks like a baller. I don't know if anyone else. You know, I'm still, maybe this is his origin story. You know, I'll just, like I said, we'll see how he does against Miami. But there's some decisions that we made in the offseason that are affecting us right now. Two games, 2 MLS games in, 2 points in, 2 ugly draws. Logan, 2 games in, do you think that we made the right decisions in the offseason, or is there, did we screw up? Where are we at?
I think that there easily could have been teams players rather, that we could have gotten rid of to open up international spots. There's a very obvious choice in somebody who can't stay healthy in Randall Leal. I think that that's a very obvious point to make when it comes to talking about somebody who we have held on to that we probably shouldn't keep. I like him. I like the way he plays. I think he's great to have with our team. I'm not saying anything bad about who he is as a person. It is not who he is as a player when he's on the field. It's about the fact that he can't stay on the field and stay healthy. So I think that would have been an easy open spot for us. That would have been a lot of money that we're not spending on him that we could have opened up to actually entice better players to come in general, or different players to come in rather. I know at the time we were talking Acosta a lot, and now he's, no longer available. He's with Chicago. This is a player that could have easily filled that position. And I think it would have been a smart choice. With draft, I felt like we should have drafted Kojima. And that would have been amazing to have him in an international spot as well. Having both of those young kids up front that are both strong forwards, that are both affecting the Champions Cup already with goal contributions. I mean, that's huge. I would. You're
talking Jose Kojima from St. Louis City.
From St. Louis. Yep, he's Japanese. He was at Wake Forest. He was captain at Wake Forest for his last 2 years. Meaning as a sophomore and a junior, he was captain for those 2 years.
Wait, is Wake Forest in the ACC?
Yes.
And Forrest Ajago was ACC Player of the Year.
He was at Duke. Yeah. I know. I'm saying,
did we make the right decision?
Both of them come up. I'm saying having both of them come in would have been huge. I was talking about it. I know when we were on our Instagram Live, or when I was on the Instagram Live talking about the draft that day, when the MLS draft was on, he was the number one player I was looking at when it came to a strong forward to be up front with Sam Surridge. And I kind of wish we would have picked him up. I mean, there's so many moves that we could have made. And this is, again, it's what could have been. It's what we should have done, at least in my opinion. And I think those are strong points to be made. That's the way I feel about it.
I mean, guys, is there a possibility that us and all of Nashville community and Twitter is just overreacting right now with what we're seeing, especially given the circumstances of our reality right now? Injured players, Hani, Surge, Liao. Do you think that? I mean, what do you think? Do you guys think we're overreacting? Two points, one against the Colorado Rapids, one of the supposedly worst teams in the league.
I think we're lucky to be getting draws right now with all the injuries. I don't think that we're overreacting when we look at the international spots. Our 2 international spots that we have on our available to us are Randall Leal and Sam Surridge. Both battled injuries last year. Now, Sam was coming off a full season, so we haven't seen him, with a regular off season coming in.
Yeah.
He took a nasty fall against a CONCACAF team, like Shay said last week.
Way worse than it really is.
Yeah, but those teams are just always going to be rough to play against. So hopefully he comes back and we're good through the rest of the season. I think we're lucky to be drawing right now with our goal scorers out. However, I would have liked to have seen us hang on to a couple more of those international spots. Maybe we could have used him for another striker, because at the beginning of the season, we only had Teal Bunbury and Sam Surridge. Now we signed.
You mean another striker like Jose Kojima could have been it?
No, I'm talking about somebody who was available in free agency that we could have signed. It was an international spot. It would have used some money. I don't know where it would have been on the salary cap. But Josef Martinez was available from Inter Miami.
That would be some nasty work to go from Atlanta to Miami to Nashville. That would be some.
There would have been a lot of work. Nashville fans that would not have been happy.
I would have been happy. They would have started being happy when he started scoring goals.
To be fair, I think it's still true. He's never scored on Nashville.
He's got 2 goals and an assist already with Montreal.
Wow. Oh, he's going to work. He's going to work.
So I would have liked to have seen us use an international spot on a big guy like that. Like I said, I don't know where it would have lined up with our salary cap. Maybe we could have used some of that GAM that we got and used it towards buying down people's contracts to get us under the salary cap. We have almost $1 million in it, right? So
yeah, man. Well, I don't know. It's kind of traditional for Nashville to just gamble away their GAM and their international spots apparently now. But there's a few traditions.
One thing. I saw a tweet that was hilarious. It was at the beginning of the off season and free agency and all of that. It says it's not an MLS off season without Nashville trading away international spots.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Honestly. Yeah. We gained one from
Sporting Kansas City.
Sporting KC to then give away 7. It's just insane. It's just absolutely insane.
I don't know, man. I think if it gets us through whatever we did in the offseason, if it gets us through this next gauntlet, this next round of 2 months, right? Of just tough opponents, tough games. Yeah, I'm with it. I don't know, man. Like it's tough to say like where Nashville is right now in 2 games in with injured players. It's tough to call that. I definitely feel the frustration, especially when you've got Nashville gouging prices on you right now. I know, like it's there's just and then the fact that we're not even in the Open Cup and we don't know where Nashville's stance was on that. But I mean, I guess we'll get to that next. We're also going to talk about Charlotte stealing people's traditions and calling them their own. Swagger jacking.
Awful traditions out there in general.
Swagger jacking, as it's called in the streets.
And that's coming up.
You guys know I'll be too lit on Wednesdays at Southside Kitchen and Pub, but it does not have to be a Wednesday for you to get too lit with me at any of our away watch parties. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Mixtape615 for all watch party information so you can get in the mix with us, me, Logan, and Ginger Snap. Let's go.
All right, guys, we are back with the Mixtape 615 podcast, and we've got some beef we gotta settle, right? We got some riff beef going on with Charlotte FC, some traditions we got to talk about. Now, if you haven't been following this year, just reminder, just this year,
Charlotte
just this year, Charlotte. They have now started playing a guitar riff at the beginning. Some of their supporters are coming down and playing a guitar riff, and it's cool. That's all nice. Well and good. That's fine. I don't hate it. I think it's kind of cool getting your supporters involved in your opening match traditions. You're kind of starting a new one. That's all well and good. Where I draw the line is when you start acting like you came up with this tradition of an opening guitar riff.
It's the fact that they have said that this is the best new tradition in the MLS. And I'll be honest, like everyone wants it to be that way. But the fact that they are saying it's the best new tradition it's
not a new tradition.
Has already been doing that for 2 years prior to them even being a club. Like, it's just not cool. It's just not cool.
So if you look at the history of the guitar riff in Nashville, they literally, even through their opening season in the MLS through COVID, they pre-recorded it because they actually said that it matters and they wanted it to continue to be that tradition. So they had people recording it and sending it in for their opening guitar riff matches. It wasn't something that they let slide and were like, oh, well, we can't have people here. Let's just ignore it. No, with stadiums empty, they were still playing an opening guitar riff in Nashville. So it's a tradition that has been around. Tunji, what have you seen around X?
Oh, man, dude. I've seen a lot of it's been back and forth. And like, look, first and foremost, I think that you're exactly right, dude. Like, it's our tradition, dude. Like, you can come in and do it as well, but just don't say that this is the best new tradition. Because like, it's just like, first off, that's just not, you're not being original. Let's just be upfront with it. And then I can allow you to do it. People were saying like, Charlotte FC fans were saying stuff like, oh, well, you guys created music. Didn't know we couldn't play a guitar. I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, yes, we created music. We're the Music City.
Music City.
Yes, bro, for all intents and purposes, we teach the world how to do music and we do it well. So if you're going to come in here and have your fans play guitar, how many traditions are y'all going to have, bro? How many y'all have to pep us? Y'all do like? Can't we have something cool, bro? Can we at least have one thing cool, bro? Like y'all are over here moving on to new traditions. Barely got the first one going.
They spin. They got all the things.
They sing the national anthem before. Like, dude, Charlotte is so weird. Look, I love the fans, love the supporter groups, but like y'all are like a hive mind, bro. Y'all are weird, bro.
Hey, let's be real.
Everything in unison over there, man. It kind of creeps me out, bro.
At least they're trying to take a tradition that's already good and not trying to come up with one that's extremely lackluster.
Oh gosh,
we've seen.
Yes,
I'm talking about New England's the foam box throw that's just so anticlimactic.
Yeah,
it's a it is the Boston Tea Party with the opposing team on it. But honestly, they got to design that thing better. If you haven't seen it, go look it up. The New England Revolution. What is it? The tea toss or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah,
it looks like it's just a giant foam dice. Like, what are we about to do? Play Monopoly? I mean, what are we doing here?
So
and then it's very anticlimactic. But back on the Charlotte thing, I saw a tweet. It was from Charlotte FC Slow Report. It was kind of funny. I'll be honest. As a Nashville fan,
they had some jokes. Okay.
It said, breaking news: Nashville SC has confirmed that they are officially the first club and city ever to use music during a game. We are excited to see this come to life and never have drama about it ever. Here's to a successful tradition that's never been done in the world.
Yep. Gosh. Yep. So, hey, give us something.
It was kind of funny. I'm not going to lie. But, we're talking traditions. We're talking about things that have happened. The riff beef that has happened with Charlotte. We've been following the U.S. Open Cup, one of the longest traditions in U.S. soccer. Now the MLS will only have, if I remember correctly, it's 8 of their number one squads, only 8. And then all of the rest of the teams are just out, not seeing MLS Next Pro, not seeing partial teams, not seeing.
No, I think there's MLS Next Pro teams.
There are a couple.
There are a couple. Sorry.
Yeah.
Nashville itself.
It's 8 teams. Out. Some are MLS, some are MLS Pro. No, Next Pro.
So those
that's right. The
MLS teams that are inside CONCACAF champions are not putting any teams into Open Cup at all. And that's an issue.
Well, that makes sense.
That's an issue for me. That's not everybody's issue. but with the cup entering into its 110th year, and I know I've already said my piece about it. Obviously, y'all know I love the Open Cup, but with them entering the 110th year, I'm not just upset that Nashville isn't going to be a part of it. I wanted more opportunity for us to get any kind of silverware we could. I understand it would have been tough to play in 4 tournaments. We've talked about that. That was not the league's concern when they decided they wanted to pull out of Open Cup. It's all money, and they don't feel like they're putting in a lot to get a lot back. And this, that, and the other. It's what they feel. But I am upset knowing that, and I think it should change some people's minds that are out there, or at least to a degree. I'm not saying all the way, Tunji, but to a degree, I think it is upsetting that we don't have any dog in the fight at all. With Huntsville having a squad.
Look, I'll say this: with our top 2 goal scorers getting injured in the first non-MLS match
of the season,
I'm okay with less playing time. I'm okay with less games, less injuries, because I feel like that actually gives us more of a chance for some silverware, some hardware. If we don't have to go and get our players injured. Now, I am kind of sad to not be able to see some of the younger guys, the Joey Skinner, the Ajago, who we talked about, who could get, because we don't have an international spot for him to play MLS games, we could have seen him in the US Open Cup. So I am kind of sad we're not going to be able to see some of those players be able to play more. Seeing more Brent Kallman if we saw him, but if it were our Huntsville team, I would have been okay with it. I think it would have been fun to see some of those younger players actually get some exposure, some playing against stronger competition, because we talked about it pre-show that the MLS Next Pro is not even to the level of USL. So being able to see some of these players compete against some USL teams, I think would have been pretty good.
I think it would be pretty good maybe a couple years down the line, which is why I think that, look, I'm apparently the depraved, just soccer urchin over here who doesn't truly when I say I don't care about Open Cup, that I understand how that sounds. I understand it's harsh. I do care if Nashville's in it and we're doing well. I do understand about sporting merit and what that means overall. I do get that. But I also understand that, look, man, the Open Cup, if MLS doesn't want to be a part of Open Cup and has Leagues Cup and is saying, hey, we're okay with doing 3 out of the 4 chances to get CONCACAF champions, to get into a champion spot. Yeah. I understand exactly all of it, the players not having too much too much stress on their legs through all the games. But I also understand that this is American history and this is something that we all should respect. But if it's not in a place where it's actually benefiting the league, we're talking about money, league, soccer with a $sign. Ding. That is what we're talking about. This is what this team is about. They believe that to grow the sport, you need huge investments of money. Don't care about the little man, which is the people who, again, calling out Nashville here, can't or they're gouging us on these Miami prices, and we don't know if Miami's going to be there. The MLS does not care. What I wish they would have done is given the teams a chance to say, hey, let me enter my MLS Next Pro team in there or enter my first team. And if they don't enter one of the two, then they should incur some sort of penalty. Right? I think that would be a fairer way to mitigate this whole, because it's such a sticky situation.
Would you have seen all of the MLS teams? Would you have seen all the MLS teams only choosing to put in their MLS Next Pro?
And that's the thing.
Depends. Some MLS Next Pro teams are terrible.
There are a lot of MLS Pro teams that are terrible.
Awful. But some are good, but some are really bad.
Yeah. Well, let's be real. With that happening, I want to know, because I know that I have a team in USL that I'm going to cheer on, and I think it's very obviously it's very well known with all of us, but I'm going to be cheering on Memphis 901 FC in Open Cup, and I do want to see and encourage others to watch Open Cup. But Tunji,
I'm still going to watch it for sure.
Either one of y'all,
I'm still going to watch it, dude.
Cheering on.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheer on the Oakland Roots. That's the team. I was a big part of helping organize their opening day, or like when they announced the team to the I guess the city after the Raiders left, or Raiders were talking about leaving, and the Warriors had already left. So there's a big void in that city.
Yeah,
I was living in Oakland at the time, and I got to actually help them figure out like what venue they're going to launch in, and that got me kind of endeared to the team. I have so I'm going to be now. I have an even bigger chance to root for them. They used to be in NISA back then, and now they're in USL. I think that's one of the things that, if you really love soccer, look, we have no control, right? As fans, let's just this is in the United States. The reality of soccer is it is a rich man's game. Right? That's the United States. I'm just talking about the United States.
Yeah.
We have no control.
I mean, all the way from Little League,
I just want to see soccer, bro. All the way on up. So I just want to, at this point, I'm not gonna like get all stressed out on what I can't control. Honestly, I'm just let's bring in the church. Let's go. I'm not gonna get all stressed out about what I can't control, man. I'm just going to hope and pray that soccer continues to live on as it has an Open Cup tournament, 110 years, or however long it's been. Whatever form it has to take till we get there, I might not see it in my lifetime. I might not see us reach that pinnacle of global soccer that we all attain to. But at the same time, I get to watch Nashville in the Dominican Republic, wearing my city's name. I get to watch Messi right now playing against, and Luis Suarez, which I thought was going to be a bust.
In our stadium,
he's not.
Possibly.
In our stadium. For an extra high price.
Possibly.
again
Possibly.
And I get to watch I get to see the Oakland Roots. Oakland has his own team now. Like, I get to see all of that because I live in the United States, and I'm happy about that.
Okay,
there's a lot of stuff to be upset about, but I'm happy about that. Who you rooting for, Austin?
I'm going to be cheering for my old home city. So it's funny, kind of, you talked about yours where you lived. I fell in love with Chattanooga FC, who they are now
nice.
They are now an MLS Next Pro team. They're unaffiliated, so they're actually an independent MLS Next Pro team. So
that's dope.
They're going to be playing. Actually, I think 2 weeks from today is their first U.S. Open Cup match. So I'll be cheering them on. I still got my scarf, still got my shirts. I'm ready to cheer on Chattanooga FC and watch them play. See what they can do as an MLS Next Pro team.
I don't know if it's Chattanooga FC or the old Red Wolves, or it was
Red Wolves or USL.
There's some Oakland roots in there's some Oakland roots in Chattanooga, like connections between those two teams. I remember one guy was actually whichever team you could own a piece of ownership on. You know which one that was?
Red Wolves.
It might be Red Wolves.
It must have been the
Chattanooga FC. Chattanooga FC, when I watched them, was a semi-pro team. Now they're professional, in the MLS Next Pro. So maybe it was that when they turned professional. I don't know, but I know Red Wolves are USL. So I don't know.
There's some Chattanooga Red Wolves minority owners that are part of the organization at Oakland Roots at the time when that was happening. So that's that could be my secondary team. I'm not sure about One Knox. They're a little too loud on Twitter, but I respect I respect them joining the conversation. I'm not too sure about them. Never liked Knoxville, but I think it's definitely Oakland Roots, maybe Chattanooga second.
I do think it's kind of cool that each one of us kind of have our. And this is always going to be a positive. We gotta talk about this in general, but it's a positive to know that all three of us, regardless of how we feel about whether Nashville's in it or not, MLS in it or not, we are now all cheering for our home cities. My home city in Memphis that we grew up in. Austin, I know you lived in Chattanooga for a long time through college and beyond. Tunji being in Oakland, I think it's cool that we all have our own home cities that we're cheering on, and our own separate USL and Next Pro teams that we're all cheering on. So those of you who are listening, leave in the comments. We want to know what teams you are following for US Open Cup now that Nashville's not.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's wrap another episode of Mixtape 615, guys. Great discussions. Yeah, let us know your thoughts on U.S. Open Cup, who you're following. Big love to all of you guys who are listening and sticking with us through this. Where are we? Episode 20.
We're officially out of our teams,
guys. We are in episode 20. That is a huge milestone for us. So thank you guys for sticking with us. Shout out to our producer who once again is working tonight and still getting us set up, recording and rolling, keeping us going. So you are the real MVP. Absolutely. Don't forget to stay connected. Hit us up at mixtape615.com and on all of our socials, Facebook, X, Instagram, all of that. Hit us up at Mixtape615. And for all of our video content, you can find us on YouTube at Mixtape615pod, at Mixtape615pod. So keep it real, keep it vibing, guys. Until the next episode, Mixtape615 is signing off.